Hello, I'm Daniela, and this is episode 8 of Historical Paranormal. In this episode, we'll explore the legends and sightings of black phantom dogs and hellhounds. They are primarily associated with British legends. Sightings often are a sign of an omen, a tragic occurrence to a person or their family. The Scottish Moody Dew, the Irish Husith are examples of this. With the Scottish, the tradition is that black dogs are guardians of ancient treasure. To Native Americans, the black dogs are often associated with catastrophe on the horizon, while some believe in shamanic beliefs that the dogs guard the land of the underworld. Some view these creatures as scavengers, vampiric in nature, or familiar of a witch or Satan himself. In the origins where the black dog is seen as a guardian spirit, often it is believed they are created by real dogs getting buried alive in a graveyard in a magical ritual. It could be any type of dog, but they manifest later in this form. In other cases, the phantom dog is really from a different dimension and visits the world through verge of a portal. Many link the idea of black dog sightings to Greek mythology with the goddess Hecate. Her pet was the dog Cerberus, who was the watchdog at the entrance of Hades. Hounds also appear in Celtic mythology as part of the Wild Hunt. Some other names for these phantom dogs are Bogey Beast, Barghest, Black Shuck, Cablewaite, Husith, Galley Trot, Guy Trash, Girt Dog, Harry Jack, Moff Doog, Old Shock, Padfoot, Puka, Shrieker, Chivo, Peck, Way Way, and Libazone. Most of the sightings come from the UK, although there have been sightings in the United States and Latin America, and with US Route 666, black dogs were often sighted on the road. Some features of this creature are that they appear ghost-like, while others appear more solid in nature. These dogs are not easily mistaken for normal pets. They are nocturnal and roam at night. They often appear larger than the average dog. Some even describe them as being as large as a pony or even a house. They are said to have extremely large eyes, shaggy fur, and some are said to walk on their hind legs. The beast's teeth are much larger than any dog's teeth, and they are said to carry a sulfuric scent. Occasionally the dog appears headless, and is known to drag a chain from around its neck, or have a human face, and they are known to howl eerily at the moon. Its paws can sometimes hit the ground and be heard from a distance. Often the dog is also described as being silent as a tomb, and they are often sighted at graveyards, gallows sites, as well as crossroads, roads, and bridges, and they are said to disappear into the mist, leaving no trace of their eerie visits. According to Mark Norman, who has been researching black dogs for 15 years, not all black dogs are bad. While many are omens of death, there are ones that are attached to a family in some way. There are ones that are seen as protective. There are ones that are attached to particular locations, so road dogs are common. Dogs that follow a particular route, for example, in the countryside. According to Norman, the earliest recorded appearance in English literature was in 1127. One of the most famous encounters of a black phantom dog comes from Reverend Abraham Fleming's account, A Strange and Terrible Wonder, describing the appearance of a ghostly black dog or black shuck at the church of Bungay, Suffolk in 1577. In this little rural market town, during an early morning church service, a black dog appeared in the church during the storm. The beast ran through the church, causing fear and panic. Anyone he touched died shortly after, and 2 people kneeling in prayer passed away. A man nearby was severely burned, but it is thought that he survived. To this day, there is a large black dog on the weather vane of the church. During that same storm, the village of Blythaburgh, only a few miles away, a black dog appeared. He killed 3 people and left a burn mark, now called the Devil's Fingerprints, on the church door. It appears even holy ground may not be safe from these creatures. Some explanations for why black dog sightings are so prevalent around the world are, from the beginning of human history, humans have been in a war with wolves. Wolves are larger than domesticated dogs and are in most locations around the world. It is thought that the idea of ghost dogs and hellhounds can result from this. Other reasons may be that these stories were told to children to prevent them from wandering off into dangerous places. Others suggest that it could be an explanation for the hidden dangers of smuggling routes. Smugglers would invent stories to keep interlopers away from the coastal smuggling routes. According to Norman, there are stories of smugglers painting the body of an unlucky horse with luminous paint in order to convince townspeople that a particular road was haunted by a headless horse and coach. According to Norman, I still get reports of phantom dogs. I've got pages of reports from various places since the year 2000, for example. And some people have claimed that the black dogs are actually leopards or pumas that roam England. Others think black dogs are a kind of hallucination caused by a dream state, similar to what happens during sleep paralysis when someone gets stuck in between REM and waking and begins to have hypnagogic hallucinations. One discovery that was published in the Daily Mail in May of 2014, titled, "Is this the skeleton of a legendary devil dog, Black Shuck, who terrorized 16th century East Anglia? Folklore tales of 7-foot hellhound with flaming eyes." Lisa Westcott Wilkins, who's the managing director of Dig Ventures, a crowdfunded archaeology excavation project, unearthed the skeleton during a dig at the ruins of the abbey dating back to the 1100s. Wilkins suggests, "No, there's no way. There's not even a dog alive besides maybe a direwolf on the Game of Thrones that would be 7 feet tall from nose to toe. That's massive." The skeleton, she says, was about the size of a Great Dane. Without radiocarbon dating, they can't say exactly how old the skeleton is, but they do know it suffered a wound in its leg that would have given it a significant limp that it was buried in a grave. This find resonated with dog lovers at the dig. Wilkins said because this wasn't an animal that sort of crawled off somewhere to die, the dog had clearly been taken care of and buried out back where the sort of kitchen area of the monastery would have been of the abbey when it was active. And interestingly enough, a black dog's motivation changes along with cultural perceptions of canines. In cultures where dogs are considered unclean, sightings of these dogs tend to be seen as more nefarious in nature. Whether or not what many have seen and described as phantom dogs or hellhounds are real or not, the stories continue to pervade history and haunt many. In years to come, people continue to tell tales of black phantom hounds. Thank you for listening. I hope that you enjoyed this episode of Historical Paranormal. If you like to watch previous episodes, you can check out the Historical Paranormal playlist for more.